Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Turin here with another Warhammer Total War Live Battlecast. In this particular game, we are going to play the Warriors of Chaos. Let's see, who do we want to use as a Lord? Archaon can be pretty fun, but he's very, very expensive. I feel like Kolek is just such a gangster, so we're going to go with Kolek for today, guys. Get rid of Deadly Onslaught. Haven't been having a lot of fun with that lately, and again, it's a pretty expensive ability, actually, if you look at it. On top of that, we're actually going to get the Lore of Death, and do we want to put it on a Manticore? Because again, he's probably going to have a Flying Lord, I would imagine, so... The issue with the Chaos Lord is so good in that kind of aerial duelist kind of matchup. Yeah, let's actually just go with maybe a Chaos Lord with the Dragon. Go ahead here, make sure he has his potions. We're also going to get a Manticore Lore of Death Wizard. On Soul Blight, very, very good against low tier, Empire Infantry, which again is mostly what they bring. And on top of that, we're also going to get Spirit Leech to help us win that kind of Air Force duel. So we're going to get 3 Aspiring Champs, just all around solid unit, great stats. The only matchup when I probably don't bring 3 is against the Dwarves. We're going to get 2 Forsaken here, and probably get some armor-piercing troops in case he decides to go with a very heavy greatsword build. We don't want to overload too much on these like non-armor-piercing units. And these guys do have 12 armor-piercing damage, but if you look at these guys on paper, they actually have 28, which is quite a substantial difference. So that's pretty good for our main infantry line here. On top of that, do we want to bring any monstrous units? I think not. I think we're probably just going to play more of a high and tight type formation. We'll probably get 2 more Manticores just to really, really win the sky, because that'll give us so much flexibility in regards to where we want to go from there. And then let's see. I know you guys, in the build I showed you guys the other day, I was using the Marauder Horsemen, the Masters. Marauder Horse Masters is what they're called. So I could get some Trolls. Trolls are pretty fun, but again, they get shut down pretty hard by, spears and units like that. So honestly, I think getting like maybe a group of Halberds on my flanks could be okay. But again, that's assuming he's committing pretty heavily there. So, we're just going to do that. Get these guys, and then we can get some Chaos Poison Warhounds, which will give us some flexibility of, protecting our flanks. And what you can do with the Warhounds is you can break the enemy's charge and then use your Manticores to kind of support them and stuff. So we'll see how it goes, but I really like Lore of Death. I like the Soul Blight. It's a pretty big debuff, and it has like a wide area of effect. So that 8 leadership, oftentimes against like spears and things like that, can be the determining factor as to whether or not they rout. So definitely a fan of using those. It's pretty good stuff in my opinion, but the Chaos Lord is just, it's really good, for securing the sky. Kolek's fine, but the Empire does have a lot of like focus fire that they can really, chunk him with if you're not careful. And he is lightly armored, so crossbows and things like that can do okay against him. So again, he's a risky pick. There are some times I like to bring him depending on the build, but with this particular kind of situation, I'm just going to go with a more traditional Lord here. So we're going to get our main line here. We're going to deploy the Forsaken on the wings. These guys are going to hopefully get balls deep in my opponent's back line. That's kind of the game plan. We do have our flying goon squad right here, which is pretty healthy. I mean, the Manticores are very, very strong. On top of that, we're going to put those guys there, and we're going to put the Hounds. I wish these Hounds had Vanguard deployment. That would be pretty nice, but we're going to put them back here, and that should be A-okay. I believe Manticores do cause terror, yeah, which is really strong for how much you're paying. Just so much better than the Great Eagles. I mean, Great Eagles, granted, are a lot faster, but still, these guys, their stats are just such punishment. So, opponent's forces. I have a pretty small army compared to him. I mean, but I guess by, Empire standards, his army isn't that large either. So we're going to go ahead and just start marching his way. The true Chaos style here, we're going to fly overhead here and just get these guys kind of lurking behind. And let's go see what he's got. So it looks like he has some spears here. We can just, and he does have guns. So we can probably get a few like cheap spear throws here. He does have halberdiers, and he actually has 2 Demogryph Knights in the back line. So I'm going to have to be very conservative, but his, oh, that's bad. I didn't think I was in range yet. Oh no, that hurts. That hurts so much. So I just traded like 2 spears for like half of my Horse Masters here, which definitely sucks. But to be honest, guys, like I'm still feeling really confident. And look, they're even throwing some as they scoot away there. I didn't know. Did he have 2 groups? What was that other group? Is it the Magic Bullets? I think they were hidden. Yeah, I didn't see that other group there. So pretty fancy footwork from my opponent here. But his infantry line's pretty weak sauce. He's got some great swords and he has spears on the flank. But I mean, with all this and Aspiring Champs and the Lore of Death, it's going to be pretty hard. So he does have Boris Todbringer, of course. Let's see, he has Halberds, and what I'd like to do actually is just bring these guys around right now and just use them to distract my opponent. If he sends like a group of demis after them, even if I lose them all and don't get any kills, I feel like that's not a bad situation. So we're going to keep running out this way and just advancing, and it looks like he's splitting his forces to try and do like a little bit of a pincer or something, which is fine, where he collapses on both sides. I'm totally fine with that. I think that my Chaos line is very, very resilient, so we should be okay. So we're going to pull over here and just keep kind of circling around my opponent's flank and trying to be annoying and keep these Hounds in the back line. And right now we're just going to engage. We want to make sure to get the armor piercing here, and it looks like he is actually just clearing a way or some sort of an arc for maybe his we'll send the Forsaken out here, and we'll send the Forsaken out here. We'll get these guys here, and we want these guys on spears, obviously, because they're going to cut spears and halberds to pieces. We're going to pull these guys back, and we're just going to get a charge right now on these guys and see how we can do. So we're going to fly in and do, some heavy, aggressive kind of diving over there. We're going to get 1 Manticore here, 1 Manticore here, and we're also going to get a Spirit Leech on Boris ASAP. So things are looking pretty good. My opponent, you can see he's reacting to these guys here, which is totally fine. So now we just pull them back here. We get these guys, and you see he's trying to like catch these guys, so we'll just run them out here. We're going to go here, and it looks like he does get a net of Amnitok actually, which is pretty strong. So I'm going to take a lot of focus fire here, but I do have a potion of toughness as well as a potion of foolhardiness. You can see he's really, really chasing these guys very, very aggressively, which is fine. So we're going to charge into these greatswords. We do have another group on the flank here, which did get caught, so we're going to pull those guys back, but we do get a nice charge in here, actually. So as soon as those nets are up, I think we're going to be in pretty good shape, and you can see he's allocating all of these demis and different things. Let's go ahead and use a Soul Blight right here on this like big infantry battle, which I think should help quite a bit. Boris is definitely vulnerable over here, so we're going to kind of path as soon as we can get out of these darn nets. And it looks like we are able to get out, or at least that 1 Manticore is. So over here, these Forsaken are doing pretty good, so we're going to kind of outmaneuver the best we can over here. We're going to push here and also get 1 Manticore here on these guys and just put him in group 5. And of course, we should probably honestly just use our potions now because we're taking a ton of damage from those guns. But this Manticore should get in here, and these Forsaken are also going to collapse on those very elite units. And you can see his infantry line is struggling a little bit. So I think we're in good shape here. We get a nice little dive on Boris, and we're actually going to overcast the Spirit Leech here, and hopefully we should be able to at least trade. I would be totally fine with that. So the Hounds, I totally forgot about them, but again, there was a lot of heavy microing going on, so we're going to try and get our Lord out of here, and just hopefully we can finish off Boris. You can see he's actually broken right now, so let's actually go here and just get this guy chasing Boris here and just force him off the battlefield. So we were able to get the Forsaken into the back line, so let's actually go. We broke that one group. Our infantry line's doing very, very well. Definitely one of Chaos's strong suits here. So we're going to pull these guys here and just keep chasing. So we're probably going to pull our Lord back, to be honest, and just actually, yeah, we need to finish him here. So he might, come back from route. So we're going to pull these guys up and around. We get our Manticore there, which is so nice. We're just getting all deep in those guys right now. So we do have a Spirit Leech in a few seconds. We're going to pull these guys, the Master Marauder Horseman back here, and we're going to overcast it just to, oh no, he's crossing off the battlefield. Oh, hopefully he doesn't cast it. It looks like it did waste it. So again, mistakes are made, guys. Nobody's perfect, but things are going pretty well, I would say, for the most part. So now that kind of his missiles are gone and his other threats like that, I think we can kind of just honestly collapse on the rest of his stuff and really just kind of seal the deal. So the Hounds back here, we're just going to use them to chase some of these units, make sure that these guns don't come back. And our Lord and our Flying Goon Squad is in pretty good shape here. This one is not in the best shape, but I think we're okay. So we're going to fly back over the battlefield, see what we can kind of pick off here. He does have some greatswords here, which are a pretty good target for my Lord, I would say. So we're just going to dive in there. We don't have potions, so we have to be very, very careful. Let's go ahead and use a Soul Blight right here, which is going to hit most of his troops, to be honest. This Manticore, again, we're just going to use it to kind of chase down some of these units, and the Hounds are going to do a great job finishing off those handgunners. So my Lord does get trapped here with the nets, which is, very, very scary for me. But the Halberds and other units, the Demi-Griff Knights, are going to get in there, so we need to make sure to collapse everyone we can right now. Let's go ahead and make sure to finish off those gunners too, because that's going to be a pretty big deal. He is steady. Let's go ahead and use a leadership buff. We're going to get these Manticores in here as well and just try and finish it. As soon as we can get up in the air, I think we're fine, though, because I still have a very, very strong presence on the ground, which is pretty good. So let's go ahead and switch these guys here and get this Manticore on the Slight Wizard, which I totally forgot about. So again, a lot of madness going on here, guys, but I think we're fine if he can get up and get away. Otherwise, it's going to be a pretty serious issue if my Lord routes here, but he is wavering. So we need to get him up in the sky, and regardless, I think he will come back from route. So we're going to get him here to finish off this Light Wizard. Most of our troops over here were able to do a pretty good job on cleanup duty. So he does have some demis left, so we need to collapse and get everything we can on these demis right now, because it's a very, very pitched fight. We are able to kind of, it looks like maybe finish off this Light Wizard, but he's pulling some demis back now, so we want to just put these guys here, put them on skirmish mode, which should be fine. I believe we do have some units that were coming back from route here, so let's get these back in the battle here. Very, very close fight. Very, very good game so far, guys. So I think we're in good shape, though, with these Manticores, and my Lord should come back, and hopefully we have enough for another like Soul Blight or something here in a moment. We do have an Arcane Conduit. Now that the poison's in here and a lot of my troops are getting saturated, I think we're going to be in pretty good shape, and killing this leadership here and the encouragement is going to be very good as well. Another Manticore coming back, definitely cannot complain. And you can see a lot of my opponent's troops are shaken, and some other variables like that. And let's see what their regeneration is. So in a few seconds we should have a Soul Blight, which is going to be really nice. So that'll definitely probably push their leadership over the line and help us win this battle. So I definitely made some big mistakes this game. Forgot about my Hounds for quite some time, but I think we're going to be able to pull it out. So let's get these guys up here. We definitely don't want to lose my Lord, I guess my mini Lord, and it looks like my other Lord is now back, which is great. So this Manticore here and here, we can just get them on these demis. Our infantry corps is doing a pretty good job. So our opponent's forces should start to crumble here, and you can see they're now broken. He does have some Demogryph Knights and some Greatswords, so we're probably just going to finish off his infantry to the best of our abilities, keep these guys fighting here, and hopefully they can finish these. So let's actually just pull in our Lord at this point. I think we should be okay here. So Chaos Poison Warhounds, we want to make sure to get them on these guys and just poison them and keep them, kind of locked down for the most part. But yeah, these demis are just so resilient. I'm almost hesitant even to land my lord in there. So we're going to pull these guys here. We are able to break the last of his infantry corps, and you can see now he's shaken. So I think it's close enough where I can dive safely and, you know, not worry about losing these guys. So we get in there, we go balls deep, we did our thing. Looks like the Warriors of Chaos are pretty good shape. He does have some troops over there kind of in auxiliary, but I think honestly the Demogryph Knights are going to be in pretty bad shape right now. You know, thankfully my Lord was able to squeak away earlier, and with the Lore of Death we were able to really put Boris down, which was very, very important. But another thing I need to be more aware of is, you know, looking for that Light Wizard. I totally missed that, and I could have killed it so much earlier with some of my, you know, not Wyverns, but Manticores. Also, a little bit sloppy with my Lord. I should have split. I didn't see that he had a Light Wizard. I should have done some better scouting. So again, a lot of learning lessons in that game, but still very well played to my opponent. He did a great job. So let's go ahead and take a look at the breakdown, guys, see how everyone did. The Forsaken did pretty well getting around the back line, and I honestly think that was the determining factor of that game, was getting in there and actually killing his handgunners, because they were doing a really good job punishing my Lord. When I was able to get those Forsaken back there, this group, and get, you know, 62 kills and really disrupt that back line, I think it opened up the game for, you know, a lot of, you know, good stuff. The Marauder Horsemasters, I always have a hard time making them work. Again, my micro with them was very sloppy, but the Silver Bullets also caught me off guard and did a ton of damage, so it's pretty interesting stuff. But Lore of Death was good. Soulblight made a big difference, I think, and also Spirit Leech was pretty good for, you know, finishing off Boris. So as far as my opponent's troops go, Greatswords did good. Halberd, you know, they did their job, guys. Can't complain. And of course, the spears, I think he was using in the back to kind of protect. But again, there was only so many spears, and Manticores are pretty hard to deal with, especially for a low leadership unit like spears, who do, you know, are subject to terror and things like that. So very well played to my opponent, Pippington. I look forward to seeing you again on ladder, and I hope you guys enjoyed that cast. Have an excellent night, and take care.